Akkalikov and Bozorboi, Matякубов of Ukraine. So you can see just in the background there the various judges making their way to their ringside positions. We've got 5 judges seated around the boxing ring. They're selected randomly before each and every contest as we pause for the official introduction.
64-kilogram division, of course. Please into the ring to the blue color from Kazakhstan, Sabirjan Akkalikov.
Well, here comes Sabirjan Akkalikov, 19 years of age, representing Kazakhstan. Man who has taken Youth National Championship gold in his boxing hotbed homeland. So you know that he knows what he's doing, preparing for his 5th bout in the final. Terrific southpaw display, using uppercuts in the 3rd round to eliminate Ankit Narwal at the semi-final stage. 34 boxers comprise the light welterweight division. Here he is preparing for bout number 5. Sabirjan Akkalikov awaiting his opponent, who will take up residence in the blue corner. Well, this man, what a boxer he is. Possesses violent hands. I know we're in the sport of boxing, but he commits to every punch, and his punch output is incessant. He was a unanimous points decision winner over Zantoro Tashiev of Kyrgyzstan in his semi-final. He too preparing for his 5th bout of the tournament. Incredibly conditioned, incredibly strong, high ring IQ. And so far, the 4 men he's faced haven't been able to withstand the aggressive, forceful punches, forceful punch picking he's demonstrated. We've got judges from Guatemala, Malaysia, Argentina, Poland, and the United States of America scoring this one. So, likely to be a height advantage for Akkalikov. But will he be able to resist the incredible educated pressure that the man in blue applies? Shirmala Tapu of Sri Lanka with the final instructions. And this promises to be a contest between boxers of contrasting styles and statures in the 64-kilogram light welterweight gold medal bout.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. The boxer wearing red is Sabirjan Akkalikov. His younger opponent wearing blue is Bozorboi, Matякубов, and the man from Ukraine. He too with national title success under his belt and took a European Youth Championship bronze. So he's already occupied the podium on the continental stage. He's accomplished the same thing here. In fact, has gone one better because it's a minimum of a silver, but he wants no less than championship gold. But that's good scoring to the body with a hook dug in by Akkalikov, the taller boxer, dipping his knees and turning his palms upwards to land that shot. And so far, Matякubov, you see him planting his feet into the canvas and shooting out that backhand, but he's falling short so far because as he's pulling the trigger, he just walked onto a left uppercut and then a beautiful straight shot selection from Akkalikov, who is as cool as can possibly be, under fire from the man in blue. He set his stall out early, and look at the flashing left uppercut he's looking to bring into play, buffeting the head of the man in blue repeatedly with shots around the corner and the underneath. Approaching the midpoint of the opening round, good right hand to the body landed by Matякubov. I'm surprised that Matякubov wasn't looking to work away there on the inside, because at distance he's coming out a distant second best for my money. There's a left uppercut that got through, and then a left hook twice in quick succession before the subsequent ones landed with the inside part of the glove. But that is where Matjakubov wants to be, marauding his way forwards, but he's running to another southpaw left once again as Akkalikov regains his composure, reinstates the gap, and then just setting out his stall to charge the toll for Matjakubov to get inside. And again, it's the taller figure in red who's the busier boxer at close range, which I do find surprising. I assumed that Matjakubov, given what he's done so far, would be bombing away at close range, trying to target the body of the man in red, but the better work downstairs is coming from Akkalikov. Inside the final minute of the opening round, Matjakubov shoves him away, steps in with a left, right, but was off the mark, and again he's bombing away with that backhand, but he's starting his attacks from miles away and he's not maintaining them. More often than not, he's running into punches from the man in red, and Matjakubov isn't able to keep the attacks going, and he is being stopped in his tracks by terrific accuracy from the free-flowing fists of the man in red. He's spinning off the line, brings an uppercut into play to the body once again, Akkalikov. And I think this has been a very good opening round for the man in red, completely neutralizing the front foot pressure that Matjakubov is trying to apply. Very good round for my money for Akkalikov.
Agreed. That was an impressive round, and 10-9s across the judges' scorecards in favour of the Kazakhstan fighter. What's been impressive about him is that he hasn't just looked to stay on the outside and pick Matjakubov off as he comes in. He stepped in and met him, and I think that has surprised Matjakubov a bit. But you see him in the corner there, breathing hard, Akkalikov, because he's had to work very hard in that opening round. Now, Matjakubov will bring this for 3 rounds. I've seen him plenty in this tournament. It can be a bit basic, it can be a bit crude, but as you described him, he's rugged and he's physical, and he can do this for 3 rounds, and you've got to keep him off for 3 rounds for 9 minutes, and that is not an easy thing to do. And that's the question here really, is can Akkalikov keep that balance, keep his feet moving, and keep that snap on his shots to be able to do that or not?
Often the case when more compact boxers face taller, punch-picking adversaries. But again, look at the amount of punches that Matjakubov is taking in his attempt to get inside. I'd like to see a little bit more head movement. He's coming forwards with plenty of aggressive intent, but he's proving to be too easy to pick off by Akkalikov. And as well conditioned as he is, if you keep being peppered with shots all night long, they don't even have to be hard. But if they're constant, that will drain the energy levels, and his feet could become a little slower. And again, his head tagged once again, and look at that for a bolo shot to the body from Akkalikov as he's looking to work away with the free left hand and score with that same shot once more. And again, the rhythm that Matjakubov is trying to establish as he gets onto the front foot, he's having to stop and overcome inertia, reset his feet and come again, because invariably he's being touched up by Akkalikov as he begins his forward march. Well, Akkalikov not heeding the command of break, and how about that for defensive maneuvers from the taller boxer? Despite being taller, he dipped at the knees and was able to go beneath the punches as Matjakubov comes forward, bombing away once again, but he is inaccurate, and he's connecting with nothing other than the stadium air here at the Halalegianov, rather than on muscle and bone of his opponents in red. Good left hand to the body landed by Akkalikov once again, and to drain his gas tank further, if you're swinging and missing, well, that is a far more energy-consuming endeavor than landing on something solidly. So I think that's the first part of the equation that Matjakubov has got to get right here. He's got to start hitting something, because more often than not, he's missing. He did get through with an arcing left hand just a few moments ago. Bobbing and weaving, and there is more of the movement. And perhaps he's got to do that when he gets into punching range, but he takes another left hand as a left uppercut brought into play to his sternum once again, and he's continuing to bring plenty of industry, but I'd like to see a little bit more imagination in the work of Matjakubov. Gets into a crouch once again to try and go beneath the punches, and now he's guilty of just following his man around the ring, literally chasing shadows. because Akkalikov demonstrating wonderful ring craft. There's a good right hand from Matjakubov, but again, the taller man content to go down to the body, scores with a check right hand as he spins off the line, brings a left cross into play after employing the layback, and this has been beautiful boxing to negate the swarming attacks that Matjakubov is looking to produce. It's been a very difficult 3-minute mission for the man in blue from my perspective here ringside. He has continued to keep on coming, but he hasn't found the accuracy that he requires to get himself back on terms after conceding the opening round unanimously. I think that's another brilliant round of boxing by Sабиржан Аккаликов in the second 3-minute frame.
Right at the end there, Akkalikov just ripped a nice left hand to the stomach, and he's got it with all 5 judges again. So clear water now for him, 20 points to 18 on all 5 cards. And what's impressive about Akkalikov, and I mentioned this at the end of the first round, is often when you see a fight like this, where you've got a big, tall, rangy fighter against more of a kind of pocket dynamo, is they'll keep it on the outside, they'll look good with that jab 1-2 in the first round, and then things will maybe get a little bit ragged, and they look like they're on the run, they look like they're backing off, they look like they're spoiling a bit, unless every now and again they step in, meet their opponent, and hit them hard. And he's done that a number of times. He's stepped into the centre when he's needed to. Great example there, just pulled back, counter left hand. And really, any which way that Matjakubov has tried to have it so far, Akkalikov has had an answer for him. He'll bring maximum heat in this final round. But even if he does get it, most likely it won't be enough.
And that is because after 2 completed rounds, he's trailing by 2 points, 20 points to 18 for all 5 scoring judges. Now remember, Aiba 10-point must system scoring, 10-9 for a close round, 10-8 for a clear round, and 10-7 for total domination. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but that is going to require something in complete contrast to the 6 minutes we've seen completed so far, because Sабirжан Аккаликов has been masterful, in my opinion, in the manner in which he has gone about his craft here during the course of the 2 completed rounds. He's picked his punches effectively from long range, and then when it's come to short and mid range, he's used that shot, the left hand to the body in particular, to completely disrupt Matjakubov, and he is left huffing and puffing, but missing. Terrific movement in the pocket by Akkalikov. And the more the clock continues to tick and the seconds elapse, well, the more that Matjakubov needs to find the letters KO or RSC. He continues to pile on the pressure, but the pressure is being coped with wonderfully by Akkalikov, who is cutting a composed figure up there in the boxing ring, not ruffled in any way, shape or form, and again, content to engage the rough house character Matjakubov at his own game at mid and short range, pulling down on his head, tying him up, putting his head beneath his armpit as if to say, I'm going to beat you in every facet of the game. And sometimes, and I'm not saying that this has been a close and mid-range tear-up, but if you can beat the man at his own game, as Akkalikov digging in left hands to the body and around the corner, well, Matjakubov, for my money, is being beaten in every facet of the game here. Unsurprising perhaps at distance given the stature of Akkalikov, but I think he's also been bested at short and mid-range as well, making this, for my money, as Akkalikov goes downstairs with a shot which threatened just to go below the the belt line. But this is perhaps a comprehensive and ultimate victory. Not crowning him yet, because Matjakubov will continue to look for that finishing shot or salvo. But in the event that he doesn't find it, I think Akkalikov has proved himself to be the governor in every territory of the boxing ring. Certainly at long range, which isn't necessarily surprising, but also here as well. He's roughed up the compact, muscular Matjakubov. He's scored with shots to the body, and look at how he pings his head with a 1-2 and then drops down with that same hook to the solar plexus once again, turning his palms upwards, sinking it into the pit of the man's stomach. And were he not such a well-conditioned athlete, I think Matjakubov could have been taken out inside the distance here, but he is as tough and conditioned and determined as they come. He never stopped coming for the 3-3-minute rounds, but I think that body language is instructive, and on this occasion, accurate, as it so often is once the final bell rings. The immediate response of the athletes, for my money, is hugely insightful and often very prescient and telling. Bozorboy Matjakubov gave it absolutely everything, but to my mind, from my perspective here ringside at the Hala Legionov, he came out a distant second best due to the beautiful boxing in every territory from Sабиржан Аккаликов.
That was a fantastic performance from Akkalikov. Really was. He showed us a bit of everything. He's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got that 1-2. He can have it on the outside, but he can also work effectively up close, because Matjakubov is a very, very difficult fighter to fight. Very, very difficult indeed.
In this final bout, 64 kilogram, win on points with unanimous decision from the red corner.
And there is confirmation
Akkalikov, Kazakhstan.
of a unanimous points decision victory for Sабиржан Аккаликов. The man from Kazakhstan is the 64 kilogram light welterweight champion of the world here at the Youth World Championships in Kielce in Poland. A terrific series of performances, making it 5 wins out of 5.